Welcome. Scott here. Today I am bring you another Black Clover mobile video. In this video, I will be covering on some tips on how to tackle the event arena. First of all, let's start off with the requirements. For this season event arena theme is that you cannot bring any unit that is not sense or green attribute type. We can use any green SSR, SR or R mage for the arena. Every day, we are limited to 10 attempts per day. The arena mechanics are the same as the regular arena. There is also a event arena burning time rewards running concurrently with the event. You can get 1,150 event arena coins by playing 40 times in the event arena. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose. The high priority rewards that you should target are the accessory upgrade stones, a UR to LR summon chest along with 5 300 stamina refills. Generally, stamina refill are important as they aid the progress of your account. The second priority rewards is that you can consider to get are the 2 costume box for Rhea and Veto. Once you have those key rewards, you can use your remaining arena coins to get the Steam Red Lobsters, Charmy Special Sauce and Yule. Here you can find a tier list of the units that can be used for the event arena based on my personal opinion. Please do take note that every tier list is subjective. So if you are disagreeable with my assessment, I won't have any objection with your views. The tier list is based on the usual recommended enhancements that people bring for the regular arena. Before I continue further, here is a common abbreviation that I will be using in the video. When I say LR plus 2, it means enhancement level is at level 2. To get enhancement levels, you need to use versatile mage piece or enhancements dupes of the same mage. If I say LR plus 5, it means the untus need to be max enhancement levels. First of all, let's start off with the highest ranked or PvP meta units. With great gear, Hateful Fana can usually nuke any opposition within 2 turns with her first turn using her skill 2 to get 2 hatred stacks and nuke the opposition with her special. She gains damage boost when taunted if you use her skill page. She also gains an immortality buff when her HP drops to 1% while her hatred stacks reach 5. The immortality passive will only kick in if you have her LR plus 2 passive. Mereoleona needs LR plus 5 for her taunt on the opposition attacker along with her burn counters. Burn plays an important mechanic in her arsenal. Without burn, she cannot taunt with her skill 1 and her special won't gain additional damage boost. There are limited green burn units as Mereoleona and Hateful Fana are the only burn units for the green roster. To apply her awesome mana skin which provides AoE damage mitigation and status ailment immunity, you need to have her skill page. The higher level skill page is, she will deal more damage when her mana skin is active. Mereoleona also gains mana skin when her skill points is at 8 points. Ceremony Charlotte is a meta arena supporter mage. When she takes a turn, she can apply barrier to the unit with the highest attack when she is at LR plus 2. She can constantly refill with her skill 2. Her special applies defense penetration and damage mitigation for the party. In the next tier, you have the difference maker mages. Rill is one of the game's best green debuffers. His special can enhance your party damage with incapacitate with a 50% chance of applying stun on all targets. His skill 2 can dispel 2 random buffs from all targets with a 50% chance while lowering the opposition defenses. Until the arrival of the next green mages, he is usually most preferred unit used in PvP after the key 3 mages that I mentioned earlier. Rades can provide AoE barrier with status ailment immunity with his special. His LR enhancements passives give him a probability of applying taunt when he was attacked. Clover Academy Mimosa can support the party with her burst AoE healing and she can resurrect any fallen ally with her special. Similar to Rades, she is great for defensive setup, so make sure you give her advanced defense gear set pieces. Valtos is great for attacking setup with his mobility boost. But you need to give Valtos a specific gear set to make him work like he is intended to be, which I will covering in the later slides. Swimsuit Vanessa can applies protection to the slowest speed unit in the party, which is usually herself. To apply it on another attacker, you need certain setup for that, which I will discuss it later. Her special has a 50% chance of applying silence. Skill 2 grants an ally blessing of protection with debuff immunity if you have equipped her skill page. Swimsuit Yuno has mobility reduction with his skill 1, he can negate healing while boosting your party mage's damage with incapacitate. He hits pretty decent damage despite being a debuffer mage. Licht offers great AoE damage with his special and his skill 2 hits pretty hard with good potencies. He gains immortality once his HP dropped to 30%. He pairs well with other attackers in a team. In my opinion, he is the second best alternative attacker if you don't have Hateful Fana. Now we come to the next tier, which features still usable arena mages. Gudray is a good defensive supporter with his special giving fortify and invulnerability buff to the ally with the lowest current HP. He can grant protection to a target with his skill 2. Invulnerability negates damage while protection prevents the ally from getting targeted. If you miss out the green hardest hitter in Hateful Fana or Licht, you can use the following mages. Langris is a healing opposition shutdown mage and he can constantly regenerate his own SP with his LR passive. At maxed enhancements, he can spam his special like no tomorrow, which makes him an annoying foe. Similar to Licht, he also has immortality. The following next 3 mages have ramp up phases before they start to do big damage. They are Rhea, Ceremony Yami and Clover Academy Jack. Clover Academy Jack needs his LR plus 5 passive to have 2 stacks of miscalculation at the start of the fight, and you needs to stack up miscalculation buffs with using his skill 2, which cool down every alternate turn. Yami needs to spam skill 1 to build his continuous damage stack, and he needs 4 turns to reach maximum stacks. If you have his LR plus 2 passive, he gains a self barrier when his skill points are maxed. He can apply AoE bleed with his skill 2 and the skill will stun any targets if the target has bleed active. Rhea can copy opposition buffs and his attacks grew in strength in every buffs that he gains. He works in buff heavy team comp. If you are desperate and really running out of green units, you can consider using the less favorable options such as Fuego Loan or Despair Veto. They should work as long as you give them decent gear to fight. If you really don't have any mages and just going for event arena coins, you can bring a unit to solo, put the game on auto and lose the match on purpose. Can I guarantee victory if I use the mages based on the tier list? The answer is that it will depends on your gear set. The type of gear and how much upgrades you have put in your gear will matter a lot for PvP. In the next 2 slides, I will covering briefly on gear sets that you should use for the mages that you are bringing. In Black Clover mobile PvP, speed plays a crucial role. Speed will give you the first turn advantage, which most of the times result in most of the arena victories. To boost your unit's speed, you can either bring your mages enhancements level or give them gear sets that boost their speed. The game's fastest green mage Valtos has +2 speed boost in his LR +4 enhancements. You can boost speed using engraving speed stone in the mage's support talent wheel. To engrave a speed stone, you need to max out all the talents on the talent wheel. You can tell that speed is the most important factor as rare speed craved stones, which gives the mage +3 speed, are game's most rarest craved stone. If you have cleared the recent Spire of Honor, you can get chests that give you a +2 speed stone. To get +3 speed stone, you can buy them with premium black crystal at the shop on a monthly basis or get ultra lucky with a rare drop while doing your dailies at the limited challenge quest. The second main way to improve an unit speed is giving them the advanced speed gear set. On the left side of the screen, you can see the gear set that most veterans give them mages when tackling PvP fights. They usually equip their supporter and defender mages a full Secret of Deep Sea set, the small attack piece and defense piece from the Great Merchant set. The rationale for the 2-piece defense set is because in most PvP setup, there is no healers and defense will play a vital part whether your mages can survive till their next turn. Equipping the 2-piece gives 30% boost to the mage's defense stats. The recommended mages to use this gear set are Rill, Swimsuit Vanessa, Valtos, Swimsuit Yuno, Gudre, and SR Vanessa. Next, I will cover on the other mages gear set. All attackers should have full attack gear pieces with primary focus on the following substats: attack, magic attack, critical rate, critical damage, and penetration stats. Some mages works with certain stats only. For example, Asta don't have magic, so only attack gear pieces are beneficial to him. In arena PvP content, advanced defense gear pieces are more preferred to critical rate or critical damage, as they give an extra 30% defense boost for 2-piece synergy. Defense will help in both attack teams and defense team setups. On the screen you find the gear sets that you should target and the mages that will benefit from them. You need to take 2 synergy bonus of any gear sets from the list, with giving your attacker 4 large attack pieces and 3 small attack pieces. The type of pieces, magic or attack, will depends on the individual mage mechanics. Despite they are not attacker mages, a full attack piece set is beneficial for these mages. Clover Academy Mimosa's healing scales off her magic attack, so giving her full mage attack will boost her healing. You can switch out a few attack pieces for defense pieces to boost her survivability. There is no point of having her with good magic attack stats, but she cannot survive till her turn to heal the party. Similar to Mimosa, Rades' barrier scales off his magic attack, so giving him a full magic attack means bigger barrier application. But as he is a defender mage by trade, defense is still important for him. It is also important to note that he has taunt mechanics. As for Mereoleona, I would suggest you to check out my Mereoleona mage build guide for more details. It is important to know the mage's mechanics so you understand why you are giving them that gear set. Like gear, enhancement levels also matters a lot for arena bouts. In fact, certain mages' enhancements will either make or break the unit. For example, you bring a base Mereoleona without any enhancement level, she won't be that meta PvP arena unit that she can be, because she won't have her burn counters when attacked. You also need to remember that there are limited green burn units in the game. Here is another example: if you bring base Charlotte, she won't apply her barrier buff to the unit with the highest attack whenever she takes a turn. The barrier buff will gives an additional layer of protection, which is very useful in arena bouts. Most attacker mages usually have glass cannon set up as well. If your Valtos isn't at maxed enhancements or at least LR +4, I won't recommend you to use him. He will most probably be a sitting duck waiting for opposition team to slaughter. If you have pulled a lot of banners since the launch of the game, you should probably gotten enough dupes to max enhance him already. If you are unlucky not get enough copies of him, you can use the versatile SR mage piece, obtained from completing the 20 days advanced mission, to bring his enhancements to max level. This same logic can also be applied to Finral. On the screen, you can see enhancements level bonus for all key mages that you will see that most players should be using for this event arena event. As we are bringing all green units for the event arena, units with mono green passives are also useful. In a mono green party setup, Ceremony Charlotte gives barrier buff that equates to 80% of her max HP for the party at the start of the fight. Similarly, Hateful Fana also gives the party additional support when deployed in a mono green setup. She gives the party status ailment immunity at the start of the fight. This is useful against dangerous AoE PvP stun unit like Mars and Rill. If you want to know more about Ceremony Charlotte, Hateful Fana and Mereoleona, I suggest you to check out my mage build guide videos in the pinned comment. If you are fighting an opposition with similar BP levels, talents could bring a decisive battle whether you win or lose the battle. Talents are important for PvE and PvP content. Do make an effort to grind them. Target to max out mages' talent wheel for mages that you will be using very often. Defense plays a vital part for arena survivability. The increased defense and endurance is usually the pair of defense talent passives that people will set on their mages. There is a trick to handle debuff or heavy opposition arena teams. You can make use of two specific talent passives, the Iron Will Defense talent passive and the Resolution Support talent passive. The Iron Will grants the mage permanent debuff immunity once their HP has dropped to 35% and below. The Resolution passive will grant your mages debuff immunity upon resisting damage successfully. To resist damage, you need to reduce enemies' damage with defense buffs or total defense mechanics. Here is a tip from me. By looking at the unit's battle power, you can roughly guess what sort of gear that opposition has given. For all non-defender mages, if the unit has below 40k battle power, it means that unit don't have any talents or limited talent passive. If the unit has between 50k to 60k battle power, it means that unit have a full LR plus 12 gear set with slight or low substats enchantment investment. If the unit has above 60k battle power, the units have decently enchant substats. If the units has 70k battle power, the unit either have insane enchant substats, a full defense or transcended gear setup. You can add a 5k to 10k battle power for defender mages. Generally, defender mages will have higher battle power as mages who have higher defense stats or stats that matters to the unit's defense like critical resistance, defense percent, penetration, damage resistance and accuracy. But don't be too obsessed with boosting the stats, focus on stats that matters for the mage build. For example, by giving Julius high defense won't boost his damage output. If you seeing a 90k Julius, it is most likely that Julius is either using a full defense set. If that Julius is using a full attack gear set, it means that the gear have insane enchantment substats. For certain mages, maxing a talent wheel is important for the role. For Valtos, you will want to max out his support talent wheel so you can engrave the speed stone on his talent wheel. For Swimsuit Vanessa, you need to do the same because her protection mechanic is originally intended for herself. Swimsuit Vanessa is the game's lowest speed tier for green attacker mage along with Rhea. In order to make Vanessa faster than the other mages, you need to avoid giving them speed gear set while giving Vanessa a full speed gear set with a speed stone engraved on her talent wheel. In doing this, you can have the protection passive protecting the slowest attacker unit on your party. In general, other than the units themselves, gearing, talents and skill enhancements are important. With better gear, you can win an opponent even they are using more arena-suited units. As intel is available on which units are better suited for arena, the gear used will become a big difference maker whether you win or lose a match. There is no magic formula for a good defense team. PvP arena is geared towards pay to win. Pay-to-win players can get better gear substats with enchantments as premium enchantment can only purchased with premium black crystals. If you are free to play, you will get a limited supply of them from events, so be careful when you make the enchantment investment on your mages. I won't give you direct team comps on which team to use for attack or defense as it won't help a lot without knowing what mages you have. Instead on the screen, you can see the common traits of the mages that should be commonly used in the current event arena. I didn't include Mereoleona in the list as I have already done an in-depth video coverage on her kit. You can check out the video in the pinned comment if you are interested. Take notes of the traits that I have listed down and plan your team accordingly. With this I have come to the end of my video presentation. Before I end the video, there are some recording runs of my attempts with my main and F2P account. For my main, I am using Ceremony Charlotte, Hateful Fana, Rill, and Valtos. For my F2P account, I don't have Hateful Fana and my lict isn't built up. I am saving my resources for Mereoleona who should be debuting in the coming days. Thus, I will be using Ceremony Charlotte, Ceremony Yami, Valtos, and Rades. Hopefully you can enjoy the runs or watch me suffer a bit with my F2P account. Good luck for the event arena. If you like this video, please give a like and subscribe to the channel for more future Black Clover mobile video content.
It was nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing.
Of course. There's no way I could lose.
This is...
Of course. There's no way I could lose. Of course. There's no way I could lose.
This is go.
Of course. There's no way I could lose. course. There's no way I could lose.
I will fight alongside you!